Joining me now with his powerful story of survival from captivity as a child soldier in Sudan is Ger Duany, the actor, model, and goodwill ambassador for the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. He's one of the former child soldiers known as the Lost Boys of Sudan. He learned to fight before he could read or write, and he's memorized every part of an AK-47 machine gun before hitting puberty. Later this month, he will be speaking at the Social Goods Summit, which coincides with the annual United Nations General Assembly. He joins me from New York. He appeared in The Good Lie, a film based on the true stories of lost boys, resettled in the United States. Oscar winner Reese Witherspoon appeared in that movie. How did you get out of that? How did you get here?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me here to speak with you. The journey been very long. How did I get out of there? Well, when the Civil War broke out, I was a very small boy, and I grew up in a small village called Danjog in a town called Akoba in South Sudan. So when the war broke out, and then all of us, we have to just find a way to get out of the country, and this was around 1983. So I was really among the boys that really took the long walk all the way to Ethiopia by foot to go and find safety there.
How old were you?
It took us, at the time I was, by 1987, leaving Sudan to go to Ethiopia, I was at least about 12 or 11.
And
11 or 12 years old.
You fought in that Civil War?
Yes, we fought in that Civil War because my dad is he's an SPLA soldier, and we've been part of the armed struggle.
What was that like to be fighting a war at such a young boy?
Well, we have a long history of civil war in Sudan. 1983 is not our first civil war. We had a war that went on since 1955 before we gained our independence in 1956 from Egypt. So it's been like a norm for all of us to go through that kind of war. And by 1983, that's a war that really affected my life because I was a young boy back then. So it was a struggle. It was a struggle where we lose family members, and sometimes you're not sure if you will be living the next day or not. So faith was one thing that we all have to live by.
Who were you fighting for, the North or the South?
We were fighting against our brother from the North, Sudan.
What happened to your parents?
My parents, they're all in Sudan, in South Sudan right now. They all in, because currently we have another civil war within South Sudan since we became independent nation. So we've been going through another pace of war, and then my family are living outside the country in the refugee camps. That's the reason when I go to East Africa, I usually go to refugee camps to go and find my mom and my siblings, and also I go to Ethiopia to go and find those people. That's the reason my work is very important with the UNHCR.
Yeah, obviously, there were many child soldiers then, right?
Yeah, we were there in big numbers. We were there in big numbers, and then many of us later not going to make it. So sometimes when I reflect a little bit, I can see I came a long way because I'm sitting here talking with you.
How about the emotional effect on you, physically, emotionally? What was that like, that long walk to get out? Must have left scars.
Yeah, when you're desperate to live, and you're desperate to just see another day, and yes, of course, you're going to go through a trauma, and that's something that I have gone through. And me being in the United States for over 22 years, it kind of gave me a stability where I was rested a little bit because I was not dealing with that physical war at the time. But the trauma doesn't go away, but you just have to be aware about it. And I think I've been aware about my own, and that really helped me understand my own struggle.
You were a refugee in Ethiopia and in Kenya, and then you resettled in the United States. How did you adjust to America?
Well, I adjust to America because, they say wherever there's a path that go away, it goes where people are. So I think I took that long path and I wind up in a society where people are really generous, and then they welcome me and they educated me. And I think I'm in debt in that reason. I came to America not knowing my way around, not knowing how to speak English, and finding the opportunity to go to school and high school and also go into college here. It helped me understand the world better than if I would have lived in my own village.
You became an actor and a model, and you were named a UN HCR Regional Goodwill Ambassador in June at a ceremony at a refugee camp in Kenya. Do you still have family there?
Yes, I still have all my family in those refugee camps in Kakuma and also in Ethiopia refugee camps. Like the current civil war has displaced over millions of people from my country, and they all live in those areas, especially Kenya and Ethiopia.
Why doesn't
my direct siblings out there.
Why doesn't the world focus more attention on this?
I wonder sometimes, and I think the world we're doing our best. It seems like the world has so many wars. Being a goodwill ambassador, I just learned that, we've been managing over 28 civil wars around the world, and 8 of them only 5 of them in Africa, and I think including my country. So the attention of the people who can really manage the crisis seem to be spread very thin. But I think the world is very aware about what's going on in the Republic of South Sudan.
What is your particular mission?
Well, my particular mission is to really be part of those who want to find a solution to prevent the civil wars that are really scattering our population everywhere. And that's what makes my work really important, very close to me, and I take that very serious.
You've been characterized as a voice for the voiceless. As such, what do you want most for our viewers to know about refugees for whom you now speak?
Well, for anybody that is out there that understand laws and war, or even if you don't understand, refugees are part of humanity, and when people are being displaced and then they lost their value and then they don't know which way to go, it is very important for all of us to really lend them an ear, and then we can raise an awareness. Because when I came here as a refugee, and then now I'm a citizen of the United States, I work here, I contribute to this economy or this society, and I do things according to how our society are doing things here. And I think for those refugees who are suffering somewhere else, they have the same potential, especially the youth. And that's the reason I'm here to really speak to those who wanted to lend me an ear.
I salute you. Thanks for sharing your story, Ger, and good luck with all your work.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to talk to you.